Hello, video today is going to be a Revit video, so advanced steel to Revit. I have mixed results the past couple of days, so I'm just going to use this model here and I'm going to export it and bring it into Revit. So let's just save this, and now we're going to go to our export tab. And this is the Revit button here, so export to SMLX. So this is actually version 4 of this model, and today is the 27th. And this will export here, so you can see it's working away. So what we can do is we can yes, it just happened to be a coincidence. It wants me to save it right when I was minimizing. So I'm going to open Revit 2022 right here. So with Revit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a template file. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do a new, and we can browse here and see. We can see I have a structural template here. This template, I have added some sections already, some steel sections. Open. Okay. Now, if you're wondering the best way to add the sections, now that we're in version 2022, I think before this, they were already loaded on your computer. Now they are not. I could be mistaken. If you go to insert, so this was the way you used to load a family, but now they're not on the system anymore on your computer. So you have to do this one, load Autodesk family. Come in here, go down to your, we'll just pick a couple of something, right? So we'll go structural framing. So you have bar joists, the whole lot. So let me put in some K series bar joists. Let's see, DHLB, cassette beams. Let's K series bar joist rod angle. So you could pick any of these things. So let's pick some bar joist. So we'll just pick an 8K8, 14K4, 10K1. Alright, so we'll pick those 4. And those will now be loaded into this template. Now, what you want to do is go to File, Save As, Template, and then save this as a template file. Yes, so now I've saved it over that, and those sections should be in there also. Now, just bear in mind, when you go to save this, if you don't close the template, it's not giving me the option here. So what I'm going to do is just close out that, and then I'm going to go back in and do new, browse, and then I'll open this. Alright, so now we're going to import. So you need to put the add-on here. You'll find it in the store. I'm not going to get into that right now. So let's import the model. And here it is here. This one I just did. You can see 9:58. It's now 10:01. Open. So it's going to work on bringing this in. We can see sometimes it seems to map these, and other times it doesn't. So I've had this issue on my laptop, but then the second time it did load. So what we're going to do is just come into W shapes, 16:31. So we'll go through the process of doing this. 12 by 14. This is a W shape again. 10 by 12. W shape 8 by 10. Sorry, picked the wrong one. 8 by 10. Now you can fix these again inside if you make a mistake here. So, but it's better to try and get them right in case it messes up your connection, and then when you try and fix it, I don't know if it'll fix it exactly right, so try to get it right the first time. And W12 by 35. And W12 by 19. W12 by 19. And HSS square. Four by 4 by a quarter. So I have not loaded the beam structural here. 4 by 4 by a quarter. And then column. 4 by 4 by a quarter also. W columns 8 by 21. And 5 by 5 by 5/16. Okay. Now, if we go to load family here, it's only going to give me the option to go on the computer, and they are not on the computer anymore. I don't know. I guess there is a way probably to download that library again. I might look into that. So just give this a second to work. Just keep in mind that this is mapping the beams and trying to fix the connections at the same time, so it can take a minute. So previously I've had some issues with, let me zoom in here, we'll see. These ones here, so sometimes these come in the right way around, and then the next time they came in the wrong way around. Some of these were the wrong way around, with the cuts also turned. The one time it was successful, so hopefully this time it'll be successful. Let's see, we can see how a cut here is wrong on that beam that I did not fix. This one is okay, so I will need to fix that cut. And this one is okay, and this one is okay, so it's just this cut over here I need to fix. So what I'll do for now is I'll just go to properties and I'll just change this to red, and then I'll know to fix that one. Let's go back to Revit and see what's happening there with Revit. So it's still working. So at the minute I'm doing a course on Revit on LinkedIn, and it's pretty good. I would recommend it. Eric Wing, who had some good books in the past. Wall is slightly off axis and may cause inaccuracies. Okay, I have one wall that's not straight. Maybe that's the one they're talking about. Alright, so we can see nothing. So let's go back out, and we can see that our model has come in over here. So what's probably good practice is to move our sections over to it, or you could move the model over, I guess. Alright, so let's do a detail level of fine. We can see this blue is usually when it's trying to figure out what's going on. It'll usually change back to black. Yeah. Alright, so we don't need to do shaded, so what we'll do is we'll click on, just remember that these settings down here are independent for each view. Sorry. So let's come in, we'll have a look. Let's turn off the analytical model, and if we turn up the level of detail, it'll take out these green marks for our connections. And let's go to a shaded view. Shaded does not work. Obviously that doesn't look very good, so let's go to realistic. And we can see for some reason all these columns have come in the wrong way again. So I don't know what the reason behind this is. The cut has stayed on the same side, but the column is turned, so you can see this connection. So if I go back, to advanced steel, we can see that these columns are all turned with the webs towards this rafter beam. So the problem we're going to have is if I want to switch this one, sorry, I don't want to click on it twice, just click on this once, and I guess I don't have any properties here for some reason. So let's open our properties, and let's try and line these up if I can remember how to do it properly. The properties up here on the top. So I don't want it up there, I want it down here. Alright, so now if I want to click this here, so we can rotate this, right? So we can see it's already rotated 90, so I don't know why. It's weird because one time I brought these in and they came in fine and I didn't do anything with them, and then the next time they didn't come in. So if I change this to 0, let's see what happens. Can't keep elements joined, unjoin elements. So it should rejoin them. So it has rejoined them. But as you can see, my cut is messed up. So my cut is gone. So I can also come here, select this one, and you can see this one is at 0, so I think it's minus 90. Let's see what happens. So that one has kind of worked. Wondering if that plate is the same size. So this is on grid line E, so let's go back here to this one, And let's go to annotation. View section. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up between. We'll take a section through here. Okay, and let's go have a look at that section. And it's not going up high enough for us, so we can just drag this up. Okay, and then we can change the level of detail to fine. So the depth of this is too much, so let's see. So let's go back to our level 2 view, and we can see that this is going the whole way back here. This is not what we want. I just want to go through here. I also want to pick this, and we can see sections. Rename this section as grid line E. So grid line E, and then we can see this has switched to grid line E, and we can see that it has updated. It's still showing me a column in the rear. So let's go back. Maybe that column was closer than I thought, right? Yeah, so I've got to move this back a little more. Back to here. Then go back to grid line E. Just trying to move this. Out of my way so I can see what's going on. Now these are all level 1. I mean, these are not, I don't think these are what came in from advanced steel. These are just levels they give you. So I don't know if my elevations are going to be correct. That's something I have to look into. That beam looks like it's too big. Manage. Line weights. I won't change them right now, but see if I put in spot elevation here. 22'8", so my elevation is wrong, my base elevation, because this should be like 80 feet. So if I go back to my advanced steel model, and check down here on my first floor, 74, 1 and 5/16. So the elevation of my model is wrong, so I'll have to set up the global settings of this. Offset from level 2, foot 1.5. Level 2. So let's go and have a look at the east elevation. Let's turn the detail up again a little bit. Level at H, so I'm not quite sure about these. I don't know what this is about. H1 at level. So I'm gonna I'd have to delete some of these, but you know, our levels are the Revit levels. So these also need to be fixed. So what we could do is just delete them. Now this one may be correct. I think it's actually slightly off. So it looks like it's bringing everything up with that, so I'm going to undo that. So anyway, basically I'm going to work away at this model, but it just shows you the problems that you can have when you can see that these elements are turned around. Now this one seemed to work okay, but this other one with the feature on it is not okay. So I'll have to look into how to do this feature because I'm not quite sure right now. So what you can do is just select all of these. So 1, 2, use control to select them all. You can see this one is also wrong, and this one, and this one, and then come up here and do -90. But you don't want to have to do this, right? We can see all these ones on the end are wrong as well. On join elements, it should rejoin them. Okay, so this looks okay. These are wrong, so these ones have to be rotated. So I don't know. Let me just check my UCS. My UCS is in the world position. I didn't know if that was going to make a difference. Alright, well, I guess I'll leave it at that. It just gives you an idea of how to get your model over. But if I figure out why these columns are rotating, if I check the position, it's on center here and this angle has not changed, and I did do this once yesterday on my laptop where it came in with all these columns the right way around, so it doesn't really make sense to me why it's not working this time. But anyway, hopefully that will give you an idea how to do it. I guess it would be interesting to bring it back the other way, right? So if let's just see, I'll just do this side of the building, right? So this is on the one line. Oh, I know why this came in. So this came in because I actually I think I put levels in my advanced steel, which I don't usually. Did I put a level in here? No. Alright, well I guess this is regarding this as level 1. Alright, let's just see. So I'm just going to switch on this one side. Let's pick all of these and we'll rotate them, all the ones that are wrong. So I've already done that one, right? So let's do this one, and this one, and this one. That's it. I thought I was in advanced steel there. I'm forgetting I have different buttons, right? So alright, so just come over here. Yeah, so the orientation is varying on these. So you can see this one is 90. This one is 90. So let's switch this to 0. Unjoin elements. And then come over here and do this one, which is 90. This one is 90. This one is 90. I must have clicked the one that I had fixed already. And this will change these, unjoin elements. Alright, so it's definitely messing things up a little bit, but let's just see now if I go to File, Save As, Project. And I'll just save it here. Alright, we'll just save it out in the open and then we'll export it. Collaborate, add-ons, advanced steel, export. Okay. I'll call it 4R. And then I'll bring this back into advanced steel and see what we got. Just going to open a new file, import. And let's see, metal stud layer. I'll just do OK because it'll just keep going, hopefully. So I just want to see what it looks like, so I'm not too worried about that stuff. So the following section could not be converted. W8 by 21. W4 by 13. Probably 16 by 31. So you're basically doing the process the other way around. Seems like there would be a better way of doing this, right? Where you don't have to do this all the time. As you can see, this stuff's coming in here in the background. W10 by 12. W8 by 10. (12 by 26). 5 by 5, so that's going to be rectangular hollow sections are yeah, the square ones are under a rectangle because the square is a rectangle. And square and 5 by 5 by 5/16. And then 4, of course it's switching over and back just to annoy me. I sections, W, 12 by 35. And then back to the square, no, 12 by 19. HSS 4 by 4. Four by 4 by a quarter again. Okay, so the columns and the beams are the same in advanced steel. L 4 by 4 by 3/8. So angles identical. L 4 by 4 by 3/8. We'll get there sooner or later. So if we go back, we can see I rotated these ones on the one line and these cuts are all now on the wrong side. So let's see how it comes back into advanced steel. It would appear to be frozen, but I'll assume it's just working in the background. Let's just check. Very high, opening else. Alright, so it's not frozen, it's just still working. Alright, so now we have something shaded. So we can see that it has brought in these ones which I rotated. Oh. Weird. So I was on the one line, right? So I was over here. These ones I rotated have come back in the wrong way around, and these ones I have rotated have come in the right way around. So it seems like the plate on the top did not affect the column, you know, because I rotated these. Yeah, this is just weird. I don't know. These cuts now are on the wrong side and the columns are turned. So these are the columns that I did turn. So the feature is coming back in the same way. So basically your model is jacked up, right? So if we take them over to Revit and these columns get rotated, if we rotate them in Revit and bring them back, then they're messed up in advanced steel. So I don't know what the reason for this is. Let's just see the position now. It's still the same as the position on this one. Still the same. I don't know. If anyone can enlighten me, that would be great. It's probably got to do with the, seems like something got to do with the top connection. I'm wondering if I delete all these and try again. Like if I come back here Let's just see. For shits and giggles. Let's save this as something else. So let me turn off those grids because they're annoying me. Okay. So let's save this as Revit test, save. So let's delete this and let's delete the feature here and let's leave these features. So just on this first line here on this on this side, and now we're going to export it and see if these two will come in the right way around. Should we do more? Let's do two more. Let's do this one and let's do this one. Alright, so we're going to export to SMLX and Revit test, save. Now, if I go back into the same file, I'm just wondering if I just delete all this rubbish. Alright, let's go back to... Okay, I've deleted all the levels and everything, right? So... I shouldn't have deleted those levels. So let's go back. Because the levels give you something to work from. So let me see. Alright, so let's delete everything except from the levels. Delete. I'm hoping this will save me from having to map again. So now if I do manage, or sorry, add-on, advanced steel, import, okay. Now I want to import that file I just did. Revit test, open. And it still wants me to map all these. Oh, it's painful. Like, why can it not know these? I've just mapped them in this same file. Seems weird, right? So let me go again. You can just fast forward. I'm not going to bother pausing in case somebody wants to see this again, which is unlikely, but never know. 16 by 31. 12 by 24, 12 by 14, sorry, 10 by 12, 8 by 10 will be down the bottom, 12 by 26, 12 by 35, 12 by 19, alright, beam, structured section 4 by 4 by quarter, and then HSS column 4x4x1/4 again, column W shape 8x21 down the bottom, W shape 4x13, and a column rectangular 5x5x5/16. Okay, and let this work, and let's see what we get. Now we'll go back and see. So I want to be on this side here where the low part of the building is to my left. So I am looking in the right way. So these first 4 columns here, 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, sorry, 1, 2, and the 2 big ones and 2 small ones are what I have changed. I've deleted the top connection on them, or the top feature. The problem is, if you want to send, like, I wouldn't mind the one with the plate on it if I have to send it over and then rotate at one time, and if the connection rotates with it, that's fine. But the one that has a feature on it, and then the feature is staying where it is, but the column is rotating, then I have to try and delete that feature, add a new feature. And, you know, most people maybe won't be as versed in Revit as they are in Advanced Steel like me. I feel like I'm just trying to brush up my Revit again. So let me see, this should be almost done. I'll come up with my errors. Then I need to look into doing my global coordinates to get this to the right height. Which is probably in the Manage tab, right? Okay, well, I have less warnings this time. Last time I had 999 warnings. Alright, so give it a second and it'll analyze these connections. Or maybe longer than a second. So let me turn off that. And so we can see this one is incorrect, but with the feature deleted, it has still brought these in the wrong way around. So that's messed up. So it's rotating them anyway, so it's not the feature on the top is the problem. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go back and run a couple more tests. Maybe it doesn't like these ones are the same. Maybe it doesn't like the way they're rotated. You know what? While I'm still recording, I'm gonna try one other thing. I won't even. I'll try it on my own time. What I'm thinking just before I cut off is, I will. I'll rotate this. So I don't know if does Revit like minus 90 or a 90 instead of a 0 for that. So if I rotate this 90 degrees, now we've got back to where we were, but I also want to get this connection. Let me put this connection back on. So I put the connection on that one, and this one I'll also rotate, but I won't put the connection on it. So I'm not going to put the connection back on that one. And here I'll do the same. I'll rotate this one on this side. So properties, position, sorry, put it here. And then rotate this here. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing. Test 2, save, and then I'm going to save that, and I will continue and do this again actually. Alright. It would seem I will have to map everything again, whatever I'm doing incorrect. I guess maybe it's just me. Import, okay. This time I'll pause it after I do the import, and I'll do all this, and I'll start the video again, alright, because nobody wants to watch this again. Alright, so it's just about done again. It's going to pop up with the error box, and we'll see how many errors we have now this time. 37. Cut with voids. That's my cuts in my concrete, actually, I think. Alright, let's not worry about that. Alright, so let's see where. Yeah, so my cuts in my concrete didn't come in. That's what a lot of them are. Because I'm familiar with the cuts with voids. So. So we can see I have rotated a couple of these columns, and they still have come in the wrong way around. So I rotated this one and this one. So I rotated this one, so we can see it's at 0. This one is at 90. This one is at 90. So it did not pay attention to the way I had it rotated. So I don't know what the problem is, why it's rotating these columns. For me, it's a real pain, to be honest with you. So it's unfortunate, but I don't know why this. I mean, like I say, I can rotate them, but the problem is the top features. So sorry, I'm just looking here. It's alright. I was wondering, I thought it was still exporting, but it just was waiting for me to save the model. Alright, so I thought that might have something got to do with it, but I don't know. It's strange. I don't know who to contact about it, to be honest with you. So I don't know if there's going to be a resolution. If anyone has any suggestions, I'd like to hear it. And thanks for watching. Alright, take care. Bye.